All right, should be up and running here shortly. Both streams should be live now. I thought there was quite a lot to do today. Less so in the late morning, but open was good. Uh, Early morning was good. And then lunchtime things kind of picked up again and then slowed down again into the end of the day, which is not that uncommon. But so we got quite a few plays to go over today. Also be going over the very, very impressive market that we have had the last few days. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for October 19th, 2021. Coming into this week, I wanted to see an hourly pullback on the Qs. And so we started off getting a little bit of a gap down on Monday, but then we just charged right back up. So you can see here, nice consecutive bars here up on the hourly for last Thursday, Friday, Monday, and again today. Just clear uptrends here over the last 4 days after that gap up. Now we shifted out of the bearish bias back here, and then I was waiting to see if we'd get an hourly pullback because we were bullish on the Qs. It was really the hourly and the weekly that were leading the charts that had the look of the start of an uptrend, but never got the hourly pullback. I thought we would get it either Friday afternoon or Monday. As you can see, there's really been no significant pullback, really just that gap down on Monday. So once the market turned bullish, it wasn't really an easy one to catch, I would say. We may still get that hourly pullback here. You can see we're a bit extended from the 20 MA. We've stayed extended from the 20 MA. It doesn't mean there haven't been individual opportunities, but I think as far as trying to get into the market itself, we had the right direction, we had the right bias. It's just, kind of ended that downtrend and off it went. And the market's done that quite a few times, I think, in the past year, as far as transitioning out of the downtrend. Once it's ready to charge back up, it does it in a hurry. So impressive bullish market. Still going to be bullish going into tomorrow, but it's very hard to start a new position here. Okay, so I'm going to still be waiting for the pullback on the Qs and SPY, at least for any kind of plays on the individual or on the index themselves. Okay. All right, so Qs and SPY, bullish going into tomorrow, pretty extended. Not a good place to start new longs, though, or at least a long position in the Qs and SPY. All right, let's go to today's plays. Really nice AVIR from Sammy on the at the open here. Mega gap on the AVIR. Very, very large gap and clearing all reference points. That is a definition mega gap there. So these actually can be played either way. You can see here right at the open. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Didn't want to go lower, and then nice break over the top. And I think he added some more over 72. So huge play, really, really nice on this AVIR as a long. And then I'll give you numbers for the OMAR. OMAR was just a 2-minute base breakout here. Right over this. You see you got the pullback and then into the base. I'll show you the daily here. So daily gapping up over yesterday's gap down. So yesterday's gap down looks like, I guess, it found a bottom maybe temporarily and then into void. Okay, so that was the idea there on the OMAR. Really nice kind of just play right off the bat there. Follow through after it triggered. That's always nice to see on the OMAR. Now, it also means that it's probably not going to be an all-day hold when they do this, which this didn't end up being. Decided to trail the whole thing, 1 minute bar by bar up there at $7. Could have actually played it as a climactic too. I did not, but that's pretty climactic there on the 1 minute, and then underneath the 1 minute eventually last portion trailed. First piece came out around 670. That was the first 2-hour target on the OMAR. So pro gap, 2-minute base breakout. You can see the 1 minute started to transition here as well and look in line with the 2. So that was good. OMAR, nice little play there on the OMAR. And like I said, yeah, you could have played it as a climactic all the way back down. I did not, though. Not really my favorite, the climactic strategy. But because it's a mini, anytime you have a pro gap, something goes climactic, it's always a mini climactic because the daily is starting a new move. Targets are 2 minute and 5 minute, which this got to both. I think they're about the same, actually, 2 and the 5. Based on the way that it came in and where it was coming from, they're about the same. So that did get to target on the climactic. And then after that, just went sideways. There's nothing else to do with this. And that's usually the case. If something goes climactic, they usually do get the little bit of retracement, which is, once it gets to that target on the climb, they usually just go into a sideways pattern there on the OMAR. And then a couple plays this afternoon that gave you numbers for it, but ended up not playing them. Sage, I gave it twice, so I was having a hard time figuring out which pattern or which entry I really liked. You can see there's a bit of a downward slant already to this 5-minute base. Now, under low of the day was one, and then under this initial base. Yeah, I kind of just couldn't quite get my finger on, and here's the 15-minute as well, on kind of how I wanted to play it. Although, I mean, you look at this daily, very, very weak. Look at the weekly, beautiful weekly sell setup. So maybe should have just, gone with one or the other as far as the numbers. But really nice. I know some people did play it because I did give it as kind of two different ways to play it on the Sage. So that was good as a short. And then the AZUL. Wasn't sure if this needed to base longer. It's also an ADR, but man, that really worked. These actually kind of bugged me a little bit this afternoon that I passed on both, and they both, this probably 3 Rs and then the Sage 2.5, something like that. So both really, really nice plays. So yeah, just kind of not sure on these and a little bit less aggressive than I should be. So I thought today kind of surprising that we had as much to do, as many different strategies working. What did we go over here? We went over novice gaps, mega gaps. We went over pro gaps like the OMAR, AZUL, and the Sage are all pro gaps. And even OMAR went climactic and worked really well as a climactic. So kind of a lot of different strategies I thought were all following through today. So it was pretty impressive. So hopefully it's just a sign of earnings season picking up, more things out there, more symbols moving for whatever reason. Some of these, especially if they're biotech trial news or FDA decision, we get those all year round, but then you put them together with companies reporting earnings or releasing guidance ahead of earnings and all these things. And now we got a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to go after. So we'll see if that continues. I expect it to, because earnings season is just picking up, and I'll need to pick up the aggressiveness myself as well. So might have been just a little bit too conservative today, I think, because this afternoon we saw some really nice plays to the downside. And, these, like the AZUL, the Sage, clearly on their own page, because Qs and SPY, what did they do? Did they pull back anything like those? No. In fact, Qs and SPY ending up here at the high. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for today's market wrap. Hopefully you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.